Regular, good. Roll number 10, Haryani Hina. Roll number 10, Haryani Hina. Roll number 22, Merchant Hania present. Roll number 13, Rajani Fatima Zahra. Agwan Saleha. Roll number 1 present. 17, Kapasi Tathir. Roll number 3, Kum Fatima Chania. Wakil Sadaf. Harani Samira. Harani Samira. Roll number 41 present. 42 Vakil Sadaf also present. Okay. Still students are joining. 29,
36 roll number.
36 roll number is Sayyad Sakina present. And
Yes, sir.
29 roll number Rajani Arzu present. Okay, Rajani Arzu. Okay. Still students are coming. Meanwhile, I want to ask you that what we have studied last time. 37 Sumrani Zahra. Sumrani Zahra. 37 roll number present. She is there now in her class. Still students are joining. Once again, I repeat the roll number, those who is there in a class. Agwan Swaleha, one roll number 3 Chania Kung Fatima, roll number 5 Chania Sania Zehra, roll number 13 Jamani Lezin, roll number 10 Haryani Hina, roll number 17 Kapasi Tathir, roll number 16 Kachi Rabia, roll number 22 Merchant Hania, 27 Nurani Taskin, 29 Rajani Arzu, 30 Rajani Fatima, roll number 35 Rizvi Kung, 36 Syed Sakina, roll number 37 Sumrani Zahra, roll number 39 Taibani Sana, 41 Tharani Samira, 42 Wakil Sadaf Fatima, Datari Sakina, roll number 6. Roll number 6, Datari Sakina. Now, anyone's roll number is not there, then you ask me, sir, my roll number is not there, you not speak. Anyone? Jaman energy is not there? Jaman energy is not there. Shifa, Jamani Lezin, 13 years is there. Jamani Alina is not there. Jamani Jalali Sania is not there today. Lakhani Zahra not there. Masani Zahra is not there. Why the students are absent? Merchant Gohar not there. Sadaf Mukhi is not there. Nakvi Tamanna is not there. Why? Where are all these girls? Why they are absent? 32 Mahek Razani. Mahek Razani present. Okay, now let's come to the point. We will start our study. You know that in a last time, anyone can say what we learned in last lecture? Are you getting my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay. What we learned last time?
Sir, you have explained chapter number 12.
Completed?
No,
No,
half is remaining.
sir,
Remaining.
half is remaining.
Yes.
Half is remaining.
Very good. You are knowing that lesson number 12 is going on. Okay? So I will share screen of the lesson number 12 now on your mobiles. Are you getting screen?
Yes. Yes.
So we learn two process. One one process name
Budding.
budding and fragmentation.
Body.
Okay, now we are there on this point spore formation. Clear? Am I right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Spore formation. And for
Yes,
the
sir.
spore formation, Charnia, Sania Zera read out.
Spore formation. In chapter 1, you learn that the fungi on a bread piece grow from spores which are present in the air. Repeat activity 1.2. Observe the spores in the cotton like mesh on the bread. When spores are released, they keep floating in the air. As they are very light, they can cover long distances. Spores are axial reproductive bodies. Each spore is covered by a hard protective coat to withstand unfavorable conditions such as high temperature and low humidity, so they can survive for a long time. Under favorable conditions, a spore germinates and develops into a new individual. Plants such as moss and ferns, figure 12.8, also reproduce by means of spores.
Very good reading work. Okay. Now see spore. Spore is one kind of a sexual reproduction and spore is covered with the hard shell, protective shell, and when there is unfavorable condition, means the temperature is high or low density, okay, so they can survive for a long time. And whenever they get the favorable condition, it can grow, germinate, and more spore we get. Okay. Second thing is, if you do one thing, you take a piece of bread and keep in a corner for 2 3 days, you will get fungi on that bread. Okay, so
Yes.
that is due to spore which is present in the surrounding air. Okay, so spore is a floating in the air and then they grow. They are very light and cover long distance, can move from place to place. Clear? So getting this point very clear cut, any doubt is there, then you can ask.
No doubt.
No
No
doubt. Very
doubt.
good. So you will continue Tanya Sanizera, next point 12.2. Sania Zahra, you read.
My voice is coming. Hello.
Yes, I'm getting your voice, beta. You start.
12.2 Sexual reproduction. You have learned earlier the structure of a flower. You know that the flowers are the reproductive parts of a plant. Stamens are the male reproductive part and pistil is the female reproductive part.
Wait,
Figure
wait, wait, wait,
12.5.
wait, wait, wait. 1 minute, wait. See, male and female parts in the plant. Stamens is the male reproductive parts, and pistil is the female reproductive part. So at present, this age means in this standard, you have to remember these names only. In high classes, when you will study in college level, that time you will get more and more detailed study if you go in a science. Stamen, name you remember, is a male reproductive part, and pistil is a female reproductive part. Stamen spelling S-T, star, M-E-N, stamens. And pistil, P-I-S-T-I-L, pistil is female reproductive parts. Now you see this activity 12.4. Continue.
Activity 12.4. Take a mustard or China rose or petunia flower and separate its reproductive part. Study the various parts of a stamen and pistil. Flowers which contain either only pistil or only stamens are called uniaxial flowers. Flowers which contain both stamens and pistils are called bisexual flowers. Corn, papaya, and cucumber produce unisexual flowers. Various mustard, rose, and petunia have bisexual flowers.
Now,
Sir, please scroll. Both male
both
and female
male
unisexual Both male and female unisexual flowers may be present in the same plant or in different plants. Could you identify the another and the filament of a stamen? Figure 12.9 A. Another contains pollen grains which produce male gametes. A pistil consists of stigma, style, and ovary. Ovary contains one or more ovules. The female gamete or the egg is formed in ovule. Figure 12.9b. In sexual reproduction of a male and a female gamete fuse a form of zygote.
now we speak very clearly. Man and pistil parts is given. There is two parties there. One is filament and other one is anther. So this male reproductive parts, stamen, contain two parts, anther and filament. And in female reproductive parts, there is a stigma, style, and ovary. Ovary is at the bottom, then style, and upper side there is a stigma. Okay, so this diagram is also is there in our exercise part, so you have to be remembered. Now second thing is there, if in a flower there is a only pistil, either pistil or only stamen, any one is there, then we call it is a unisexual flower. Means only one thing is there, one part is there. male reproductive part or female reproductive part. So if any one is there, then we call it is a unisexual flower. But if there is in a plant both the part is there, stamen is there as well as pistil is there, then we call it is a bisexual flower. Corn, papaya, and cucumber. That is a unisexual flower because only one part is there. While in mustard, rose, they are bisexual flower. Both the stamen as well as pistils are there. So getting this much point clear?
Yes.
Hello. Very good. Very good. Now see what is the work of stamen. Okay, work of the stamen. So in stamen there is an anther. That anther contain pollen grain. In stamen there is an anther, and anther produce pollen grain. Okay, and this pollen grain only produce male gametes. What produce? Male gametes. Same way pistil, female reproductive parts, there is a stigma, style and ovary. Three parts is the stigma, style and ovary. So this that they produce the female gametes. Okay. Now when this male gametes and female gametes we also call egg. So egg is formed in an owl. See that picture, owl is the part here. Getting in this B part owl. Okay, here egg is produced and this egg is fertilized by the male gametes and that we call zygote. That we call zygote. This much question you get. Male reproductive part produce male gametes, female reproductive part ovary produce egg, and that egg is fused or you can say that fertilized to form zygote. Clear? This much point is clear cut? Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Very clear.
Yes.
Now next point is pollination, and for the pollination I want to ask to read Fatima. Sarah, not but
Okay.
Fatima Charania.
Okay, sir. Pollination. Journal, Generally, pollen grains
Hey,
have a
Jannat,
torch
Jannat,
protector.
not by Jannat, not Jannat, not Jannat, not generally.
Generally, हाँ सर मैं ऐसे ही तो बोली. Generally, pollen grains have a torch protection coat which prevents them from drying up. Since pollen grains are light, they can be carried by wind or wind or water. Insect visit flower and carry away pollen on their body. Some of the pollen lands on the stigma of a flower of the same kind. The transfer of pollen from another to the stigma of flower is called pollination. If the pollen lands on the stigma of the same flower or another flower of the same plant, it is called self-pollination. When the pollen of a flower land on the stigma of a flower of a different plant of the same kind, it is called cross-pollination. Fig 12.10 and B.
Okay, okay, very good reading work is going on by the Chania Fatima. But now going for the fertilization topic, first I explain you that pollination. First of you remember that pollination, there are two types of pollination. One is self-pollination and cross-pollination. In exam ask you question, how many types of pollination which are there? You have to say that there are two types of pollination. One is a self-pollination and other one is a cross-pollination. Now see what happened in the self-pollination. See, pollen grain is transferred from stamen to stigma of the same flower. Means in the same flower this process is going on, transferring of pollen grain, stamen to stigma. Then it is a self-pollination because in the same flower this process is happening. But if pollen grain is transferred from stamen to stigma, from one flower to another flower, then it is called a cross-pollination. Getting this difference between pollination, self-pollination and cross-pollination difference, getting or not? First tell me yes or no. Pollen grain transfer from stamen to stigma in same flower, that is a self-pollination. But if the pollen grains transfer from stamen to stigma in one flower to another flower, that we call cross-pollination. Am I right? And you getting understanding?
Yes, sir.
Very well, you all. Okay, but you didn't ask me one question that, sir, what is a pollination? So pollination is what? Transfer of pollen grain from stamen to stigma. If pollen grain is transferred from stamen to stigma, means male reproductive part to female reproductive part, we call it a pollination, stamen to stigma. Okay, now fertilization. You only continue, Fatima.
सर आपने ना वो लेक्चर में रोल नंबर 1 to लेक्चर 17 तक करवाया था, फिर लेक्चर खत्म हो गया, 17 के बाद के रोल नंबर बाकी है.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, okay. Then okay, then thank you. Now I give chance to roll number 22.
Okay.
Masani Zaira, read.
Okay, sir. Fertilization. The cell which results after fusion of the gametes is called a zygote. The process of fusion of male and female. Did you try to observe how the seeds were sealing to your clothes? What do you think will happen if all seed of plant were to fall at the same place and grow there? There would be severe competition for sunlight, water, minerals, and space. As a result, the seeds would not grow into healthy plants. Plant benefit by seed dispersion. It prevents competition between the plants and its own seedling for sunlight, water, and minerals. It also enables the plants to invade new habitats for wider distribution. Seeds and fruit of plants are carried away by wind, water, and animals. Winged seeds such as those of drumstick and maple, figure 12.13a and b light seeds of grasses or hairy seeds of ack, mother, and hairy fruit of sunflower, figure 12.14ab, get blown off with the wind to far away places. Some seeds are dispersed by water. These fruits or seeds usually develop floating ability in the form of spongy or fibrous outer coat as in coconut. Some seeds are dispersed by animals, especially spiny seeds with hooks which get attached to the body of animal and carried to distant places. Example as xanthisms and urena. Some seeds are dispersed when the fruit bursts with sudden jerks. The seeds are scattered far from the parent plant. This happens in the case of custard and balsam.
Oh, what a nice reading work is completed. And lesson also completed by the reading work of the Hanya Merchant. Now I want to ask you this one in a very simple way.
No, sir, Zahra Masani.
What Zaira Masani?
Sir, Zahra Masani has read it.
Hanya no?
No, I was there, Masani Zahra.
My son is there, I was there. So I called
Yes,
to
sir.
read Mahania Merchant.
Sir, you told roll number 20. I am roll number 20.
Acha, acha, my son is there.
Sir,
You,
I am 20.
you are 22. You both are very good sons.
17 के बाद में 18 आता है आपने सीधा 20 ले लिया
18 तो है ही नहीं ना, लाखानी कुलसुम कहाँ आई है?
सर आप है ना रोल नंबर 20 की प्रेजेंट कर डालना
हाँ प्रेजेंट, आपकी तो प्रेजेंट कर डाली है मैंने 20 रोल नंबर की. Okay.
मकान
Now
जहरा
let's see our seat disposal. Okay. Before that, there is some. I think so. There is some problem. Pollination, self-pollination, cross-pollination we completed. Pollination, fertilization. Okay, embryo, then fruits and seeds formation. Fruits and seed formation. You read know that, Masani? Not, but
नो सर दिस इज
roll
नॉट
number 22, merchant Jahania. Fruits and seeds formation, read out first one. Now see, we want to clear one thing is there. Fusion of gametes that we call zygote and gametes we call gametes which form the zygote. That process is called fertilization, and that zygote is developed. We call it embryo. Okay. Now seed, fruits and seeds formation. How seeds and fruits form. So, Hania, you read out now.
Yes, sir.
You read this 12.3.
Yes, sir. 12.3 Fruit and seed formation. After fertilization, the ovary grows into a fruit and other parts of the plant fall off. The fruit is the repent ovary. The seeds develop from the ovules. The seeds contains an embryo enclosed in a protective seed coat. Some fruits are fleshy and juicy, some such as mango and orange. Some fruits are hard like almonds and walnuts. Figure 12.12 A and B.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. See, here two picture is there. Section of apple and section of almond. Now see, once the fertilization process is there, ovary grow and it's turn into flower. And rest of all parts of the flower follow. Means rest of all follow. Only ovary develop and turn into the fruit. And once fruit is there and it gets ripened, ovary. The fruit is what? Once ovary is ripe, that is we call fruit. Second thing, if owl is there, owl is there, and from that owl only seeds is produced. What produce? Develop seeds. It's owl develop seeds. Seed is there now. So from that seeds only old seeds we get from the owl only. Second thing, there are two types of fruits. One is fleshy and other one is juicy. See, mango and orange. Well, some fruits are the hard, like almond and walnut. You see the picture, walnut is very hard, outer covering is very hard, while in apple and all there is a soft. orange, apple, etc. Now, seed dispersal. Seed dispersal. First of all, we will see that what you mean by seed dispersal. So for that one, Nurani Taskin, 27 roll number.
So
Read.
12.3 fruits and seed, sorry, 12.4 seed dispersal. In nature, some same kind of plants grow at different places. This happens because seeds are dispersed to different places. Sometimes after a walk through a forest or a field or a park, you may have found seeds of fruit sticking to your clothes. Just scroll it.
Okay. See, first I will say this much part clear. See, we are getting plants growing at the different parts. See, we are planting plants nearby our house, in our farm, or surrounding our village. Okay, it's okay because we are planting there. But who went to the forest to plant a tree? No one. In forest, plants grow up itself. Itself. Now, how the seeds is reach over there? Question is this one. So, seed dispersal is done by how? You continue. Before that, I will explain. Animals are is there. Water is there. These are the factors through which seed is transferred from a place to other place. So, seed dispersal by water, animal. Water in the flow of water, seeds is also flow from one place to other place. With the wind blowing, with the wind velocity, seeds disperse from one place to another place. And sometimes what happens, seeds is attached with the animal skin and move away from one place to other place. Okay. Now, I want to ask Rizvikum Fatima. Read. Did you try to observe how these seeds
Yes,
were?
sir. Yeah, sir.
Rizvikum Fatima, read this paragraph. Did you try to observe how these seeds were?
What do you what what do you think will happen if all seeds of your plant were to fall at the some place and grow there? Okay. There, there would be severe competition of sunlight, water, minerals, and space. As a register, the seed would not grow into healthy plant. Plant defined by seed, despite in the preventive competition between a plant in and it oven sending for sunlight, water, mineral. If it also embellishes the plant invented new habit for forbidden discriminant, send a fruit of plant creating away by a wheat, water, animal wedding, peace, seed, show a throw of dramatic and maply figure 12.3 and B A and B light.
Very good. Now see, uh, seeds is not there. Suppose you think seed is not there, then what happen? We get new plant? Yes or no? Just say yes or no. If seeds is not there, then we get new plant. Anyone can switch on the microphone. Anyone? Anyone? If seed is not there, seeds are not there, then we get new plants.
No.
Good. Very good. Okay. Okay. So seeds of plants fall down at the some place and grow there. Suppose you are bringing seeds from market to your house and somewhere that seeds is fall and from that seed only we are getting new plant. See, therefore what happened? That plant will not grow into a healthy plant. Okay? But if seeds are dispersed, then there is a less competition between the plants and its own seedlings for sunlight. Dispersion is there, then only this is possible. Now, seeds and fruits. Seeds and fruits of the plants. Oh ho ho, boy. Two last 2 minutes there. And this one is topic is also little bit remaining. So reading work will complete very fast. So
Sir, can I read my 10 is
seed dispersal is done by wind, water, and animals, other animals. Okay. So that will read out by the Sayyid Sakina. Sayyid Sakina, this paragraph you read out, and then final paragraph Sumrani Zahra. Sayyid Sakina, you read. Sayyid Sakina is not there, then Sumrani Zahra, roll number 37, you read. Sumrani Zahra is not there, Taibani Sana, you read.
Yes, sir, I am present.
What's your name?
Sumrani Zahra.
Very good, read.
Seeds of grasses or hairy seeds of ack, mother and hairy fruit of sunflower, fig 12.14 A and B, get blown off with the wind to faraway places. Some seeds are dispersed by water. These fruits of these fruits or seeds usually develop fruiting ability in the form of spongy or fibrous outer coat, as in coconut. Some seeds are dispersed by plants, especially spiny seeds with hooks which get attached to the bodies of animals and are carried to distant places. Examples are xanthan and uranium. Some seeds are dispersed when the fruits burst with sudden jets. The seeds are scattered far from the parent plant. This happens in the case of castor and balsam.
Very good. And here your lesson is also completed, but I want to talk to you about that seed dispersal. If seeds are carried away from their parent plant, parent plant means what? Main plant. If seeds are carried away by wind, water, or animals, we call it is a seed dispersal. Some example is given, so you read out, and any doubt is there, then you can ask me in the next lecture. Okay? Can I move? Shall we move now? You like this lecture or not?
Yes.
Very
Yes.
good. Very good. Very good. So now left the class very fast and join another class.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Bye.